I'm on top of the world! I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Dave K here today for another beautiful day in Flagstaff. Today we're going to check out the Sunset Crater. I'm so excited to check out the Sunset Crater. I thought they closed at 4:30 or 5, and then I'm reading online. It seems like that's when the visitor center closes, and you can stay on the crater. So maybe we can catch the sunset from the crater. It's supposed to be a driving tour. It's on my annual pass, National Monument. So excited. Let's go check this one out. You know, the funniest thing was going on. I was like, man, should I do Wupatki instead of doing Sunset Crater? I gotta go back and ask them about Sunset. I forgot about that. But apparently the 35-mile scenic tour is both. So I'm gonna get out, walk the lava flow trail here at Sunset Crater, and it'll continue to drive me straight up to Wupatki. So we'll see both. Let's see if I can figure out actual sunset. What makes sense for that? All right, now back in the car with all of our questions answered. Regarding sunset, it does seem like I could see it from like any of the trails. Like she was talking about the Wupatki trails, but Wupatki also, I believe, closes at 4:30. Those trails up there, but maybe it's that I can park and see it, the sunset from up at Wupatki, past the closing at 4:30. The trails down here, the one trail, the lava flow trail, does not close. So as much as I'd love to see that, I think maybe I come back later in the evening or even another day to see the lava flow trail since it'll be open, whereas the Wupatki ones, which are the drive, are going to close at 4:30. So I feel like I'm here. I may as well do it that way, right? So let's give it a shot, see how it goes. All right, we're off embarking. And another thing to note, that visitor center was closed back there. Not the visitor center, but the front gate was closed. They said check in at the visitor center, so that's what I did. And now we're making the drive. We now know all this great information, thanks to that team here. And we're gonna get rolling, see how it looks. I think maybe a lot of the views might actually be on our right as we're going, if I'm seeing this correctly. So maybe I'll actually move you to the other window. TBD. A challenge here is this is such a massive area, and I'm not 100% sure like where each of these things are, like where I'm going to be going. It's a driving trail, right? A driving monument. So a little bit more tricky to figure this one out since we'll be moving so quick. We got to keep our eyes on making sure we know where everything is. So let's give it a go. So if you can see the ground level on my left, which I think you can, that definitely looks like a volcano going on over there, volcano crater type arrangement, but really, really cool. Okay, it seems like this is our first stop where people are parked on the left. You can get some pictures and you can just enjoy the beautiful view. So let's grab a spot right here and take some pictures ourselves, shall we? I think so. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, our first stop at Sunset Crater. Take a look at this beautiful crater view right here behind me. Oh my gosh, this looks fantastic, just incredible. If you can see, the rock formations here look so different than a lot of the other canyons we've seen. This looks like it's been eroded or somehow shaped by a volcano. It's much darker rock. It looks a lot sharper, I guess, on the edges of the rocks. And yeah, definitely has that vibe of a volcano rock formation. So really, really interesting dynamic here. And then across from us here, I'm not 100% sure, but this might be that volcano trail. Again, don't quote me on this. I'm gonna keep rolling, keep driving, because even if this is the volcano trail, I'm gonna do that one the other day. That was our decision. But you can see this sign right here. This sign right here does say AA Trail, and it's got some information. It looks like you are here. Okay, this is the Lennox Crater Trail. Okay, so we could come back and do that one another day as well. See, Lennox Crater, I imagine, so where that's pointing is behind us, right? But it's kind of unclear. The pathways aren't clearly marked, but it does seem like that is a trail over there. I guess my next question is, like, is this a trail over here? Like, is that what's going on this way? So I'm gonna have to take some pictures and ask next time when I come back. Yes, so this one says this easy 0.2 mile trail, a loop trail, traverses a section of the lava flow. Really, really cool. I want to do it, I really do, but I also want to make sure that I catch all of the other part, you know, way up north. Make sure we catch those trails. So we'll come back for these trails. Don't you worry about it. We're going to pass the lava flow trail here momentarily as well. And we're just going to keep making our way to Wupatki up there. I think this is how they pronounce it. The T is silent, pretty much. So there you go. There you have it. I'm excited to check it all out. Let's go take a look. You know, it's worth mentioning, another motivating factor to not go hike right now is it's still quite chilly. It's warmer for sure, what, 30-some degrees, maybe even almost 40 degrees. So that's nice, but it's chilly enough out there. I'm so split. I'm like, do I do these now and come back for Wupatki? But I feel like I'll do the drive, I'll do Wupatki, and I can always come back for both or either. So let's go make the drive and take a look. So I'm right now seeing the sign on my right pointing towards the Lava Flow Trail. I see a street intersection, a stop sign, all that jazz. On my left, on my right, I'm tempted, but we'll come back for the Lava Flow Trail next time, because we can always come back to this area. And let's make the drive now, see which parts we want to see the most. I know you can't see it right now, but in front of me, massive mountain formation. I'm going to be running right next to it here. And Wupatki Visitor Center in 18 miles. So it's mile 4 right now. We got a hike to go. I guess this is this is a big component of the National Monument here, is being able to drive and see all this mountainous structure, canyons, and volcano formed all around us. Really, really cool to see from inside the warmness of the vehicle. Yeah, it's the right day for a warm driving tour. I think so. On my right now, Cinder Hills Overlook. Let's take a quick look on our right. It should just be a little alcove. It's a little bit more complicated than I was expecting here, you know. You got to really look at directions and understand, like, okay, this is an overlook. This is nice. Okay. Wow. So if you take a look around us here, you can see a full 360 view from inside the car. Again, I don't know if I can necessarily park here or how this whole situation works, but it's an overlook or pull out. Again, I don't know if that means I can park up here or whatnot, but you got a beautiful view of the mountains all around us here. So I'm gonna assume it's a no parking zone, but this might be another good question for us to ask next time. Is can we find a spot to park out here so we can take some pictures? Now we know. Cool to see this little overlook. Let's continue our way up to the main festivity, Wupatki. I'm really glad I selected to come to Sunset Crater too, because had I clicked Wupatki on the map, it might have taken me around on the main street as opposed to being able to drive through here and see the internal National Monument roads, which is really cool to be able to drive by. Again, you're about to see, looks like, oh, we got a little bit of a windy road going on here. I was gonna say on our left you can see some of these icy mountains, but this is just this flat, black, dirt-covered mountain. But we might end up pulling around the other ones here on our left. It looks like we probably will be, and you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. Same thing that we see, I feel like, a lot on the main streets, is like all those beautiful ice-covered mountains, but we're getting real close to them up here. So again, really, really interesting to see the nature and how the canyon is structured here on either side of us. It's a nice little driving tour. I was debating on the way back. I'm thinking to myself, do I drive through again and do all these extra miles, or should I just go back out onto the main road when I head back in the exit direction? And I'm not quite sure, you know. Is it nice to share that footage with you of the opposite side of the car? Do I want to just see it myself driving through it, or would I rather plan for some other fun-filled festivities tonight? And I do have a few in mind, so we'll see how things are going, see how we're feeling. I just passed a sign for the Coconino Forest. It seems like there's a trail to the Coconino Forest out here too. Really interesting, because I saw one of those signs when I went to the other park as well. I thought at least when I was at Walnut Canyon. On the way there, maybe saw a sign for Coconino Forest. So maybe it's just an expansive forest. Maybe all these trees are all part of the Coconino Forest. I'm not quite sure. But I did hear that was another interesting piece of nature to see here. I'm not sure how well you can see it off in the distance, but this is a view that I've been enjoying a good bit of. It's like you've got your tree line, you've got your kind of dirt and desert back there in the distance, but then even further back it almost seems like you've got like the red rocks, what looks like, you know, canyons of red rocks off in the distance. And maybe it's an illusion, you know, because it's quite far out. It's really hard to tell if that's even there or if it looks like what I think it looks like, but I'm not sure this is the right angle for you to see that, but it's got a nice look to it from a distance. But I guess certain things are easiest to see with the eyes. There's one of those signs for Coconino National Forest, just past that one. And the red rocks off in the distance to the left. Again, not sure if you can see it through that camera lens, but it's like when you have those breaks between the trees, way off in the distance, some rocky mountains, what looks like, again, red. It reminds me of, what would you call it? Like, I feel like it's from Star Wars. you know, somewhere in Star Wars. Is it like where the Tuscans live? Like sand dunes, maybe? Way out there? I'm not sure, but I do know that there is a national monument that has that same look with those red rocks. But I think that's in Utah. I don't think that's in Arizona. Still, or in that part of the world at least. Now on our left, and during the same drive, I feel like we're about mile 16 or so, continuing on this loop. This looks a lot more almost like a farm, you know? You've got this light yellow, almost a white-ish grassland over there. Or would it be like a reservation where you have animals kept up? You know, those little shrubs and bushes. Not so much rock formation, except right there, where you saw for that moment. But yeah, it's just so different comparatively to what we saw a couple of miles ago, and what we're coming up on ahead of us being more rock formations again. So really interesting how all the different landscapes come together in nature here. Beautiful view out there on our left right now. Absolutely love to see that. Those rock formations, and you can see those red rocks that I was referring to on this lower ledge up against those mountains in the backdrop. Even some red rocks about halfway up those larger mountains right there. Right about centered nowish, I think. If you can see them there. I know a little bit small because there's so much to see outside that window, but really, really nice. Take a look at this beautiful scenic view behind us and around us here. Signage is very unclear as to where we can and cannot park, but I think we're good here, at least in this little alcove for a moment. So get some beautiful views, be able to stand and just look out in this little alcove lookout area. Absolutely beautiful. Look at all this land and enjoy the trek of Wupatki. And you can see those mountains off in the distance, the caverns ahead. So it seems like I'm coming up on the first one, Coqui Pueblo. It said next right. So I'm going to go ahead and make the right turn right here. Check out the Wupatki Pueblo. We have, I believe, about an hour until closing of the trails themselves. But I don't think that means we can't drive anymore. So I'm going to try to catch all the trails in the next hour or so. I don't think that there's a whole lot to see at this Pueblo. It's just kind of like a lookout or an overlook. But we can see it from the car pretty much, is my understanding. And we can get out, take a couple pictures. But not a whole lot of like walking trails out here. More just like photo spots, I believe. But still really, really cool to see it all. And here we are parked at the Wupatki Pueblo area. Really, really nice to see these rock formations all around us here. And apparently there is a bit of a self-guided trail here. I think it's down that way. So we'll go take a look over there and enjoy it. Wow, this looks to be a little bit more than I was expecting in terms of the trail. So I'm going to go grab my bag from the car just to have extra GoPro batteries and all that good stuff. And then we're going to walk down to that Pueblo. That looks really awesome. Here it is, making our way to Wupatki. This ruin, one of the most impressive masses of Aboriginal masonry, is visible for many miles. And you know what's funny is, I'm not sure if I noticed it, but maybe this is the red dunes that I was referring to that I thought I saw in the backdrop. That would make some sense because I was just, you know, you see all these red rocks, you're like, oh my gosh, is this out of Star Wars or something? Almost looks like it is, but it's very much real. Look at that beautiful view in front of us. Yeah, I'm feeling the chill out here, so next one we step out for, I'm gonna grab another jacket, but I got my gloves and such here as well if I want to put them on. Look at that up there. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. These red rock formations down here, and then look at the structure they built out of it up there. Absolutely incredible. Wow, I could see coming back here. And if we don't get a chance to see it all today, maybe we'll make some more of it happen if we come back another day, but hopefully we can catch it all regardless. Wow, look at that. And it's just surrounded by these red stones, so it blends right in, but at the same time, beautiful structure. Now coming up on it firsthand, look at that. Oh my gosh, beautiful. As we get up closer, looking at all the details of the structure. Wow, cannot get enough of a good look at this beautiful structure up here. Look at this, how it's built with these walls. Looks so familiar to our modern day structures, right? Almost looks like a castle that might have been built in medieval times as well. Wow, so impressive up here. And this is just the first of so many trails to see out in the Wupatki area. Wow, I might have to come back and look at this beautiful view from standing up here. Oh my gosh, would be a great place to see a sunset maybe too. Wow. Yeah, I might not have even thought to walk through this area, but beautiful structure. So you see walking through here, some very narrow passageways, but beautiful views once you get inside. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic to see. And look at this, you got 4 walls on this one. Keeps you nice and toasty, right? Yeah, I'm feeling less and less confident that I'm gonna have time to see them all today. I was told it was just like a step off, you know, get out of your car, see it a little bit closer. But wow, this is a sight to be seen. You can spend way more time here, and I'm gonna see how many of the others I can catch as well. So something tells me we'll have to come back to this area another day, but yeah, this one's worth checking out for sure. You know, earlier I was saying to myself, oh, Walnut Canyon, easy choice. You might have even heard me say it while I was driving, but now that I'm here in Wupatki, and actually got to see one of the trails, just one so far, I don't know about that. It's not such an easy choice. It really depends on what you like. If you want a long walking trail to enjoy all the sights, Walnut Canyon is quite nice. But man, this is an incredible spot to see. To be able to drive most of it, stay inside, stay warm for the majority of your trek, and then get out for a little bit, see a beautiful sight, and get back in the car. I mean, there's something to be said for that too. So two great options so far. And we got to go back, of course, for Sunset Crater. That might end up being another night. We'll see. And in case I didn't show you on the way in, these are those trails from the way out. Walkway back to the car. These will close early, unfortunately. But it's nice to be able to experience it. And I do think the daylight makes sense for this one. So if we can find another time to come back during more daylight, we'll make it happen. Coming up on our left is the visitor center, the Wupatki Pueblo Visitor Center. But we don't have a lot of time left, so I don't think we need to drop in there for any reason. We have our annual pass. We already showed that to the people at the front, but we're gonna go see the Wupatki Pueblo. So it's down the same street, it looks like. So we'll go take a look at that one. All right, here's the map to Wupatki. I think we're good. I don't think we need to stop in the visitor center area here. Again, have that pass. I think it's just back this way. I'm kind of unclear. I did see a sign though. The visitor center was open until 4:30, and then the trails were open until sunset. So that's nice. So we can take a look at the trail here, and maybe we'll be able to catch the rest of them too. But we'll see how that shakes out. Take a look around as we're getting started on the trail here. Wow, beautiful view. I guess this is the one they're known for here, right? The Wupatki National Monument is probably known for the Wupatki Pueblo. That would make sense, right? I think I can see the very tip of it up ahead. Let's go take a closer look. So the sign is saying allow about 45 minutes to complete the trail. Look at this beautiful view as soon as we're getting started here. Hopefully we'll be able to catch all kinds of beautiful sights before the sunset here. But wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. The rock structures beneath us. That is incredible. Wow, my view from up here. You can see we're going to go through, looks like, through the Pueblo and another one maybe. Look at that, they're going around and through. Oh my gosh, so excited to check this one out. Let's take a look. Oh, I was so glad to read that the trails were open till sunset. That'll be beautiful. Maybe we'll even see the sunset while we're wrapping up a trail. And, you know, it's a little bit confusing in terms of the hours of different things, but I saw it on the sign up there. That was helpful. This looks like it's got a number 3, and this says to number 4 is that way, but I'm just gonna head this way, right? Is this number 1? I mean, it seems like the big one. So I'm gonna head towards the big one over here. It's got a number 18 on it. I'm confused by the numbers, but we're walking. Oh, you know what? They're probably guides. It's probably things saying like, oh, fun facts about this. Did you know? I think they said those pamphlets were available for sale in the visitor center, which, maybe we'll do that at some point, but for now I just wanted to walk it, see it firsthand myself. Wow, like look at this. This is just such a marvel to look at that right in front of you with that beautiful skyline. Could you imagine if this was your house? The beautiful view of the canyon right around you. I know, you wouldn't have a roof, but it's trade-offs, right? Here's another beautiful spot back this way, walking between this Pueblo on our right. Beautiful right there with the structure, and on the opposite side you've got the canyon, those large rocks, and it's just again, such a natural, open feeling. You know, feel like you're really immersed in the environment here. Be able to walk in this openness. There's no handrails or anything. Be advised to stay safe. You know, watch your step. But beautiful view all around us. And ahead of us, we have another one of these structures. Another nice one to take a look at while we're making our way. And here's another one up close and personal. I was calling this the smaller Pueblo over here, but still beautifully formed right here. How would you even get this giant rock structure right here? Those little ones I can understand, but this one, I mean, wow. Or was that just luck? That might have just been luck that was there. You built around it maybe. A couple different paths to go here from the walking trail as well. That one, I think, takes us back to the exit, whereas this one takes us down to Ball Court Blowhole. Very interesting. You can see it looks like, oh my gosh, it looks like there's a court down there. I think that's what that is. It's a little chilly, but I think I'm going to make the trek. Maybe I'll put my hood on to stay warm. It's an incredible view, just looking out that way, indeed. A little bit more of a windy course than expected to get down to this one. Had to make some turns. I almost slipped there for a little bit, but we're good. Making our way down to this court. Really interesting. I imagine a court used for some sort of sport. Can you say that 3 times fast? A court used for some type of sport? Oh my gosh, no. Is that? There were 3 words that rhymed in there, right? Court, sport, and sort. That was the last one, okay. Some sort of sport. There it is ahead of us. Wow, definitely interesting terrain. One might call it a treacherous terrain, but manageable. Treacherous, but be cautious while you're on it and you can make it work. And here it is, firsthand, the ball court, a Mexican idea at Wupatki. Really, really interesting. So if I'm reading it correctly, it does seem ball games may have been an important part of life, right? They were playing some sports here on the ball court. Very, very interesting. I think one can step in here. They even have the steps set out for you. So I think that's the limit back there. But nice to be able to step in. Beautiful ball court. You can hear the echo. Wow, standing down here in the ball court. Amazing audio echo. It's almost like you're in one of those classic arenas of champions, tournament fighters, those Spartan warriors you might have seen back in the day. But wow, this is beautiful. And then you'll see, please stay on designated trail sign back here, snake habitat. So this will be our end limit, but wow, really, really nice in the ball court here too. Wow, would you look at this, the blowhole. This blowhole is a crevice in the Earth's crust that appears to breathe. Wow, and then look at that. See, air, cold, heavy air, warm, light air under the blowhole. It's really interesting kind of pressure system, it looks like, going on through the air here, through the world, through the Earth. It sounds, yeah, that's definitely doing something. Stay safe. I mean, you never know, right? Might get a blast of cold air or hot air, or who knows, you know. It's really interesting. Archaeologists have yet to uncover any evidence of prehistoric structures or uses at the blowhole. So really, really interesting to see this here. It's got a really cool sound to it, if you can't hear that. It's like a humming. You'd think it's like your AC is on. Maybe that's what they use it for. AC, who knows? Really, really cool to see. Let's see if we can catch a couple others before sunset. That would be really nice. If we can make them all happen, that'd be perfect, but we'll see. Would you look at this? Another detail I almost missed. Was this another ball court? Let's take a look down here and find out. By the way, I am a bit tired, so again, is it the altitude? Is it the dehydration? Who knows? Take a look at this beautiful view right here. Again, might be another ball court. Not quite sure. Doesn't quite say. And since there's that sign there, oh, it says don't climb on walls. So we can step inside, it would seem. But I'm not sure. Is it another ball court? It seems more like a stadium. You know, you have the bench going around the side. Shape's a little bit different. I think the walls are a little bit taller. So who knows? Another ball court? Or is it a performance venue? You tell me. You can also see it's getting a lot more shady out here. Sun less and less visible from less venues, starting to fall off there in the distance. So we'll see if we can stay out on these trails until sunset. Might be a really nice place to see sunset. Then we might end up getting pretty cold. So we'll see the dynamic, how that works out. But it's nice to experience here today. On the front face of this first structure, you got some more numbers. You have this downward staircase, which I'm taking now. I almost thought it was a dead end. Then I stepped forward and saw the stairs. Seems like our exit track is right up that way. So it does take you around and a little loop. Interesting drainage pipes. Very clever. Who would have thought they built those into their system? Or did they even build those into their system? I mean, I imagine they must have, right? So yeah, very, very smart thinking on their part. In case you hadn't seen enough mountain views while we're going around here, there's some more. Not in the car, but on foot this time. Enjoy. So it seems I made the first wrong turn out of the visitor center, but that's all good. We're gonna turn into the Coqui Pueblo area and then make our U-turn, see if we can catch it all before sunset here. And we'll get you back on that wall there too. Let's do it. I definitely need this heat warming me up right now. Perfect timing for that, because I was cold out there. And you get this beautiful window view as we are rolling down. Again, I love these red rocks. Just a beautiful coloration of those stones as we make our way to the next lookout, which would be nice. Again, we get to stay in the car maybe on that one. You know, I like to get out and take some pictures too, but maybe it'll just be a quick driving one. We'll see. I wonder if this is Donny Mountain. Apparently the altitude being 5,500 feet at Donny Mountain. I can hear my ears popping a little bit, so I'm not quite sure what altitudes everything is here. You know, different things, different levels. There was apparently O'Leary Peak early on, but I think we missed that one. That was back in the Sunset Crater. So we'll have to come back for that, of course. But yeah, maybe this is Donny Mountain. Yeah, I do think that picnic area was the overlook. That's okay. We could maybe make a U-turn at some point, or maybe we can never make a U-turn and we'll catch another overlook. I feel like the coolest things have been the trails anyways, so if we miss it or we got to come back another time, that's okay. Note to self though, and maybe note to you, if you're considering, I'll probably turn down every side road, go nice and slow, although there is a speed limit and sometimes cars show up, but if they're rare, I like to keep it slow and go in all the little overlooks and the pullouts and just enjoy those beautiful sights. Take my time and enjoy the view. The sun is really baking us here in the car. It's so funny because outside it can be so cold, then you get in the car where you're not exposed to all the wind chill and the outside weather, and the sun just bakes you because it's so strong out there. It's like, wow. So definitely something to note out here. The sun is strong. All right, here's a sign. We've got the Citadel Pueblo on our next left. So coming up on the next venue, Citadel Pueblo. You can see a few cars parked out here too. So I think we're in the right place. Wow, would you look at that? I think that's it right there on our left, the Citadel Pueblo. Now that is beautiful and visible straight from the car. And here it is, the Citadel Trail. Apparently short but steep trail. So hopefully we hang out there with our endurance, you know, make it out okay. Look at that beautiful view ahead of us. That sun is strong, I'll tell you. It's really funny because you're in the sunlight and the sun cooks you, like in the car, but it's also really cold. But the sun's warmed it up nicely today. I feel like it's like 40 degrees. I think that's what the car said at this point. But it's only going to get colder from here when that sun sets. So, you know, try to catch it all and then bundle up. Beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful experience. So glad I'm seeing it. It's quite a drive, I got to say, to get around the Wupatki Trail here, the Wupatki National Monument. It's a lot. It's a lot of driving. It's a lot of time in the car and a lot of confusion in terms of the directions. But beautiful to see these trails and to see the different pueblos when you get a chance to walk up to them. Is it steep? Yes, I'd say it's steep, but it's not crazy steep, you know? Like, for example, when I was hiking in Hawaii on that one massive trail, that was real steep. This is on and off steep, nothing crazy. So, I mean, at least that's what I think so far, but you know what? Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe the real steepness is ahead. We'll see. And take a look at this beautiful landscape ahead of us. Wow, love to see that with the sun off in the distance. This would be a good one to see the sunset from. If the others aren't quite as exciting, we'll see. And then you have some information here that you can read if you are interested. So love this experience. Love the views. Love the sights. And I don't know about the cold, but you know, loving it all. Also, changing out those GoPro batteries. I'm burning through them quick because I'm doing a lot of like long records so you can see all the sights while I'm driving. Would you look at that in front of us? That is incredible. Look at that massive cavern ahead of us. Wow. I mean, what do you call that? That's like a canyon? Yeah, it's a canyon, right? Know what this is? Wow. Photos for days. Oh my gosh, look how deep that goes. It seems like it goes on forever. Absolutely beautiful viewpoint. I'm gonna stand right up here. Wow, this is a spot you could just look down at for ages. Could watch the sunset from here for sure, but we got a couple more spots to visit before the sunset hour. And just like that, I'm on top of the world. Look at this incredible view all around me. I am on top of the world, looking down at that beautiful canyon on that side. Just the open fields, open plains. I can imagine it now, you know, the buffaloes running in the distance. You have this beautiful citadel up here, this ledge to look out at it all. Look at that. All kinds of rock structures throughout. Leave artifacts in their place. Sounds good. Leaving the rocks where they're at, but wow. Beautiful, beautiful viewpoint all around. Your trail takes you to about here, and then it's just like dirt and stuff. I imagine you can walk on those things. I don't know, you know, it's kind of unclear, but you can see footsteps. So, man, look at that. Beautiful photo ops all around. Incredible landscape. This is an incredible spot right here. Citadel Pueblo, maybe my favorite today. You know, I loved the design of those other pueblos, you know, inside the canyon with the red rocks. Beautifully done, absolutely beautifully done. But just the feeling, being on top of the citadel, on top of the world, looking down on that beautiful canyon in front of us, and the plains and the fields all around us. Wow, this is an incredible one. I would make this one happen if you're coming out to Wupatki. But we got a few more on the list, you know. I still got to see a couple more, see if we can get them all before the sunset, and then pick our sunset spot. Although it gets real cold as the sun starts to set, so will we even have a sunset spot, or are we just going to see them all right before the sunset? And that's our sunset experience. Starting to look like, especially considering time, that might be what it is, but we'll see how much we can get through. I'm glad at least they're staying open until sunset, so I get to continue to experience them all. Otherwise, no way I would have made it to see them all. It's already past 4:30. And again, behind the citadel in the shade here, freezing, absolutely freezing. I'm gonna get back in the car for a minute and drive, although I'm not driving far enough to really get warm. But you'll get burning in there because the sun's just scorching down on you. I even put up the sun shield so it wouldn't be right in my face. One of the strongest suns I feel like I've seen. So just so you know, what an array in temperature based on, you know, looking outside from inside the car. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but the sun doing so much power to heat you up as well. A little more insight on that, actually. I think it did get up to 40 degrees today, and I don't remember what it said online, but it said 30 plus. It was like 36 or something at one point, but it's supposed to get down to 11 degrees tonight. Yep, in the middle of the night, 11 degrees. So it's a desert. It's a lot like LA. Huge range in temperature in the sun versus at night. Now we're at Lomakai Pueblo, and I was looking at this, I'm like, did I miss Lomakai Pueblo? But I think that was actually the one right in front of Citadel Pueblo, those little structures I saw right up front, because it looks like they're right on top of each other. I think I might have just completely missed the memo on that one, because I was so blown away by the Citadel Pueblo. But two here too, it looks like. You got the Box Canyon dwellings and the Lomakai Pueblo. So Pueblo, I think that way, Box dwellings this way. I'm not 100% sure. It's bright out there. I'm warming up a little bit in the car, and we're going to step out there and check out this last viewing spot here. So we'll have a chance to have seen them all before the sunset. Perfect timing, catching them all. And here it is, the Lomakai Trail right here. Lomakai Pueblo up ahead. It says you are here, shows us right on the map, and it looks like Box Dwellings and Lomakai Pueblo both up ahead. So we're going to go this way, see where it shows us. Let's make our way into this region. I can't even see it from here. We'll see how exciting this one is. And it looks like this one's about half a mile. Easy walk with stops at several pueblos. Okay, cool. I like it. So the directions made it look like some roads diverged. Is this the path we go on first and we come back around this way? I'm really not sure. The directions were just back there. But I do think this is the way we go. And then we'll come back around here. Well, let's find out. I think this is when they're closed. But yeah, I'm not sure. Those have got to be our cliff dwellings over there on the left. Look at that. You can see it's got the same kind of structure as we saw at Walnut Canyon. I'm going to get a closer look, of course, in a bit, which I'm excited to see. But first, Lomakai Pueblo. I think that's it way up there. Wow. So this one is a hike. They did say leave 30 minutes, about 0.5 miles on the thing here. Whereas on the map, it didn't say anything like that. So yeah, apparently this one's a bit longer than expected. And that reminds me, I meant to grab a jacket. Yeah, I was going to put another jacket on top of this one. Still in the car, so now we know for next time. I got the gloves though, I got the hat, might put the mask on, you know, the usual. We'll see. So I'm starting to wonder if that wasn't the right path, because I'm seeing some more laying down blocker things, and then there's some big rocks here. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, we're continuing forward. This way should be our, oh, this looks like a divergence point. Yeah, are those the box? This must be our divergence point. Now we know. Yeah, they must be doing some construction on this other path. I'm not quite sure. Anyways, ancient landscapes. Here's some information on it. Good to know. Let's make our way. Definitely a lot more attention to detail required on this one than Walnut Canyon. Signs are clear at Walnut Canyon. I think it's pretty clear where you're going. But this one, a little bit less clear. Now this makes a little bit more sense. You can see straight line of rocks in that little sign right there. So that must mean don't go this way. But I'm trying and sticking to it, seeing where this takes us. So as you can see, it looks like, I'm not sure if that's another trail. It looks like this is taking us to that Pueblo, what is it, Lomakai or something like that? That Pueblo right down here. See some information in front of us. This one looks a little bit smaller than some of the other ones. Oh, look at this, and information on the Sunset Crater volcano, which I think is the other part. Oh my gosh, no, the crater's right ahead of us. Wow, would you look at that? Very cool to see the crater ahead of us right in front of this Pueblo. Beautiful view. I gotta step out this way, follow the trail and see where it takes us. Oh, it looks like maybe the trail goes that way. We'll see. It's a little bit tricky. The trail is just gravel here. So look at this beautiful view of that canyon beneath us. Wow, that is fantastic. There is a lava crater. Is it Sunset Crater Canyon right there beneath us? I love to see that. We're inside the Pueblo here. You saw us move through a little bit of these holes earlier. I think at this point that one looks a little small. Do I want to try to squeeze through it? I don't know. We can also just look over it and see what's in there. Is it worth going through? I don't know. Why not, right? But first I want to make sure I see the big stuff. Look at this beautiful view of that crater beneath us. Wow. Let me get some pictures. I feel like to fully show you how amazing it is, I really try to show you all angles with the camera because it's just absolutely beautiful. You can see Sunset Crater. Look at that. Sun's still over there. It's set over here, and the walls of the crater are still collecting some sun. Very, very interesting. And here is a part of this Pueblo we can slip through a little bit more easily. See if we can get some more views. Oh, look at that. Another entryway. All the entryways to the Pueblo here. Oh, wow. This takes us out the other side of the Pueblo. Very nice. With this view of the Sunset Crater right in front of us. Beautiful spot, might I say. Before the sun fully sets, we can figure out our way out of here. We got to catch those cliff dwellings on the other side. Only a few minutes, I think, here of time left. So this will be pretty much perfectly timed between sunset and seeing all the sights here. Beautiful Wupatki. And we got to come back again for Sunset Crater on the other side. Walk through the volcano trail, lava flow, and all that. That'll be beautiful to see too. But wow, this is really nice. Again, even in the cold, make it a nice experience. I can't imagine how nice it would be when it's a little bit warmer out, So again, watch where you're going here. Try to watch out for the most clearly marked trails. My bad. But again, this one's pretty clearly marked. That one up there from this side, actually, decently marked. The other side, not so much. So looks like this is our cave dwellings right up here on our right. Let us go take a look and see what those are all about before the sunset moment. Look at that beautiful view too with the sunset going on. Sun's about to tuck away behind that cliff dwelling right there. It's all up in my face. So, oh, it's behind a bush. Now I can tell that it's a bush since I can see. And it's back. Oh my gosh. Again, I'm a bit confused. Like, is this right? Is this the path up here? Like, that was a pretty clearly indicated path, but now it looks like it diverges here. It's like two paths. Either way, we step upward and we're both on the same trail. Seeing up here, we have those cave dwellings, cliff dwellings. Nice to see these here. And these stand out a lot more from the other cliff dwellings. If you can see, not quite built into the canyon, but instead sits on top of all that dirt and rock that makes up the canyon. So if that's what this is cliff dwelling, then you can see they're structured a little bit differently out here than they are at the Walnut Canyon area. It's an interesting technique, but I can't quite critique it since, I would have no idea how to build a cliff dwelling. Regardless, beautiful view. You can see down beneath us into that lovely canyon right down there. Wow. Absolutely beautiful spot. Beautiful photos and nice little walkway they've set up for us. Seems like we can go a little bit further down. We'll see where that takes us to. Wow, look at this incredible view down into the canyon while we're walking to the edge, it seems like, of this particular cliff dwelling trail. You can see this is the end point. You have an incredible view beneath us Wow, taking off my sunglasses to really soak in the beauty. Even though it's so bright, I'm just covered up with my glove, cover the shade. Look that way too, into the canyon. Wow. It does. It looks like something out of one of those ancient films, or like a Lord of the Rings, or some sort of story that you'd watch. I feel like Finding Nemo, you know, if this were all underwater, they'd be swimming through these caves when they met those fish, if you remember, and then above it was the jellyfish. Yeah, really, really nice to see this out here. And look, another one right on the other side. I wonder if we can get to that one. So beautiful to see all of these wonderful pueblos, all these wonderful trails, and be able to make the time to catch a good chunk of Wupatki at least. And we'll have to come back for Volcano Crater, but an amazing experience to check out even more of these national monuments here in Arizona. And on the walk outward, a whole new perspective on that canyon as well. We were just up there with those cliff dwellings. Now we get to see the canyon and the sunset as the sun is making its final leg, final descent. Beautiful view down here at the grasslands, being able to reflect on the beauty of this monument, this whole area that we're getting the chance to enjoy and experience. And I'm so glad I'm getting the chance to travel and share it all with you. What a great experience it is indeed. Wow, look at that beautiful sunset shot. That might even be our sunset from here. We might be watching the sunset, at least on the cave dwellings, but it's a little bright. But continuing onward, you'll see it fall behind a dwelling. Yes. Good night, sun. We'll see you soon. Oh, this is one more trail, it looks like. So on our way out, or maybe we could have caught it on the way in, I'm not quite sure. Up this way, I think we can see this cliff dwelling, but it might be extremely bright, so I'm worried about that. Again, look at that blockade. Like, you're not saying don't go in, right? It's just rocks forming that way. I'm really not sure quite why. Otherwise, it looks like a trail. It's pretty clearly a trail. So yeah, I don't know. Again, mask because it's cold. Nice to mask up to stay warm. Cover that nose from running, you know. And the sun is right up in our faces. You can see probably the difference when I do that. Wow, you get to see the sun firsthand yourself. How about that? Hopefully not too bright for you, but it shouldn't be. And this one's got a bit of a different rock formation leading up to the cliff dwelling. I'm not sure if that's more of the trail that goes up that way. I don't think we're gonna mess with it. We'll just look from here. Oh yeah, see, no entry point starts there. You can get up to that point and then look down on the canyon. But here's our view of it from here. Your cliff dwelling, surrounded by rocks. I wonder how they got into this one. Like up and over? Not quite clear. But another beautiful one. Glad we can get up close, take a look, and you can see it's full of rocks and grass growing in there. So something tells me just maybe it hasn't been used in a hot minute. What an incredible day here. I absolutely loved to see it. Beautiful monuments, to both of them. The Wupatki Monument here we spent the majority of our time at. We'll have to come back to see more of the Sunset Crater, but really, really glad I had a chance to check them out and enjoy it with you here today. Don't forget to make your day an amazing day as well. Make sure you focus on those positive vibes. Look for the silver lining in everything you do. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay informed of future adventures coming your way. All the positive vibes, all the Arizona, and so much more. Because the fantastic sprint has just begun. Until next time, play on. Before the sun fully sets, if we can figure out our way out of here, then we'll have to come back for Volcano